There's a nice technique which I've used with some of the most successful sports people that I've worked with, and I can guarantee you that 2 people have got to #1 in the world and use this particular technique. It's a technique which I call act as if, and it's a really important technique. The psychological principle behind it is that we must be now what we wish to become to allow us to be it. Just to explain that further, is that I was working with a golfer, and this golfer was 30th in the world. I said to him, where do you wish to be in the world? And he said, I want to be in the top 5. So I said, if you were in the top 5 now, how would you spend today? What would you be practicing? What would you be eating and drinking? How would you get your shoes out of your locker if you were 5 today? So world number 5, who would you be saying hello to? Where would you be spending your evening? What would you be talking about and thinking about? What would you be feeling? How would you be acting? And he had this role play about being 5th in the world. And he actually found out that what he was doing at 30th in the world was quite different to what he would be doing if he was 5th in the world. Having said that, the things that were different, he didn't need to be 5th in the world to do them. He would practice differently. He would eat differently. He actually did get into the top 5, just playing the game of act as if. So if you were looking to make a change in your personality or character in some way, and let's say that you wanted to be more collaborative in the workplace, or more confident, whatever it might be, if we played the role and we said, if I was the most confident person in the workplace, or if I was the most collaborative person in the workplace, where would I be sitting in my next meeting? What would I be listening out for? Who would I be speaking to? Who would I be sharing this information with? What would I be thinking, feeling, hearing, seeing, doing? If we can just walk through what it would be like if we were that, it gives us some really good clues and self-awareness in regard to how we can be to start making incremental changes in that direction. So we must think in the present tense and imagine that we are that now to allow us to become it in the future. And it's a game that anyone can play with any characteristic or any sort of trait. And you can even practice if you were a parent. And you said, if I was the best parent in the world, how would I be dealing with this tantrum? What would I be seeing? What would I be feeling? What would I be thinking? What am I really listening to as the best parent in the world? Often we just go into situations, we deal with them without thinking, because we're busy people in a busy world. But if we could stand back just for 5 seconds and just say, if I was the best mother or the best father or the best colleague, best brother, whatever it may be, how would I be dealing with this? If I was the most relaxed person at dealing with this sort of situation, what would I be thinking at this point? And if we can just create that little bit of time and space to think about some internal positioning, how we may express ourselves externally could be quite different.